welcome to the deep dive. This is where we, really get into the material you send us, pull out the key insights, and help you get up to speed fast.
Exactly. And today we've got a great collection. Transcripts from the Learn English with Joy Knob YouTube channel.
Right, focusing on American English conversation.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to dig into these, find that practical vocabulary.
See how it actually works in dialogue.
Yeah, just get a better feel for everyday English, right?
That's the plan. We're aiming to give listeners sort of a shortcut to understanding those nuances, how native speakers use these words naturally.
Okay, let's jump in. First set, literally, various, at any rate, at the most, and to brain up. First up, literally.
Okay.
The definition says exactly or actually, used for emphasis. Seems straightforward.
It is, at its core. It means factually true, but, in real conversation, it gets used more flexibly. People often use it just for strong emphasis, even if the situation isn't technically, literal.
Like I was literally starving? When you're just really hungry.
Exactly like that. Or, I literally died laughing. You obviously didn't die.
Right.
It just adds color, intensity. You'll hear it constantly.
So, should learners use it that way? Or stick to the actual meaning?
Good question. It's definitely common in spoken English, but maybe start with the core meaning first, the actually true sense.
Okay.
Because some people do find the exaggerated use a bit, annoying. The transcripts had good examples, literally jumped for joy. Maybe they did leap, maybe just felt super happy. Literally on cloud 9. Pure happiness. Literally ran to the store, emphasizes the running.
And the Chris Evans example.
Yeah.
Seeing him at a coffee shop.
Okay.
I literally saw him, and literally the best day ever. That really captures the shock, doesn't it?
It really does. It just slots in to amplify things.
Like the skydiving bit, too, being literally too scared, shows that intense fear.
Yeah, and that connects nicely to bucket list, which we'll get to later. Overcoming that fear.
Okay. Moving on to various, defined as many different kinds, comes before a noun.
Simple enough, yeah. It just means arrange different types of something.
Like various fruits, various places.
Right.
Or I have various books implying different kinds, not just lots of the same one.
And she visits various countries, a mix of different places.
The dialogue example was about weekends, wasn't it?
Yes. Someone did various activities, hiking, reading, cooking. The other did various things, soccer, movie, visiting family.
So why use various instead of just listing things?
Well, it's efficient, isn't it? You convey variety without needing a long list. If the specific items aren't the main point, just the fact that there's a mix.
Right. You just want to show diversity quickly, like we discussed various options.
Exactly. It keeps things concise.
Okay, next. At any rate.
Right.
Means whatever happens anyway. Show something's true regardless. It's an idiom, the transcript said.
Right. And an idiom, just quickly, is a phrase where the meaning isn't obvious from the individual words. You can't guess at any rate means anyway, just from the words at any rate.
You just have to learn it as a chunk.
Precisely.
So examples like weather's bad, but at any rate, we'll go to the park. The plan stands.
Or didn't finish homework, but at any rate, he went to class. Attendance wasn't affected.
It often comes at the start or end of a sentence.
Yeah, quite flexible placement. The dialogue about the rainy trip used it well. At any rate, we can bring umbrellas. Rain won't stop us.
Shows that determination, or maybe just acceptance.
Yeah, this is happening regardless. The indoor picnic story was funny too. At any rate, we're having this picnic, even if it's inside.
The core plan holds.
It does, though maybe worth noting, at any rate, can feel a touch more formal than just saying anyway, or in any case.
Good point. Okay, fourth one. At the most. Sets a maximum. No more than this.
Exactly. An upper limit. 2 suitcases at the most. That's the maximum allowed or needed.
Expecting 10 guests at the most. Won't be more than 10.
And I'll be there in 20 minutes at the most. The longest you'll wait is 20 minutes. Hopefully less.
The dialogue used it for planning a beach trip, right? Travel time and money.
Yeah, 2 hours at the most to get there. Need $50 at the most. Very practical for setting expectations.
Or maybe managing them. Depends if you're an optimist or pessimist with time, I suppose.
True. An optimist might say 20 minutes at the most, really hoping for 10. A cautious person uses it as a safe upper boundary.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Last one for this set. To bring up. A phrasal verb.
Meaning to introduce a topic into conversation. To mention something.
And it's separable. What does that mean again?
It means the object can go between bring and up. So you can say, bring up the problem or bring the problem up. Both work.
Got it. Like, she brought up the new project.
Or he brought up an interesting point.
The dialogue example was in a meeting, someone bringing up a budget issue.
Right. Sarah brought up the budget, and John suggested they also bring up other related problems, useful in work settings.
So it's just about mentioning something new.
Pretty much. But how you bring something up can matter. You can bring up something sensitive carefully or bring up an idea enthusiastically.
Ah, right. Context matters.
Definitely. Like bringing up late deliveries to find a solution or a friend bringing up a fun trip idea. It starts a discussion or plan.
Okay, great first set. Lots of useful stuff. Ready for round 2.
Let's do it. Next up, bucket list, to blame, the last straw, get to the point and catch up with.
Bucket list. That phrase you hear all the time. List of things to do before you. Well, kick the bucket.
Exactly. Big life goals, adventures, experiences, classic examples. Travel to Japan is on my bucket list.
Skydiving is on her bucket list. Often things that are a bit ambitious or require effort.
And it's usually on the bucket list, grammatically.
The dialogue had people sharing theirs, Grand Canyon, learning guitar.
Scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef. It shows how personal these lists are.
Yeah, it really reflects individual dreams. The transcript prompted listeners too, thinking about Italy or surfing.
Taps right into our aspirations, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, next, to blame. Means holding someone or something responsible for a negative outcome.
Right, and grammatically, it's often blame someone for something or blame someone for doing something.
Like blame the student for the mistake or blame the rain for canceling the game.
Or the examples. Teacher blamed the student for the error, blamed his brother for the broken phone.
The dialogue about the lost keys was very relatable.
It really was. Jamie immediately blamed Alex.
Yeah, you lost the keys.
But then Alex is like, hold on, I didn't even touch them.
And Jamie realizes, oops, she was the one.
Yeah, and apologizes, takes the blame. Shows how that dynamic works. Accusation, clarification, taking responsibility.
Definitely. Okay, the last straw. Love this idiom, that final thing that makes you lose it.
Yeah, after a series of problems, you've just had enough. The transcript gave that example. Missed the bus, spill coffee, forget keys, meltdown.
Total meltdown.
Yeah.
Or the car breaking down again. That's the last straw. Time for a new car.
It's that cumulative effect reaching a tipping point.
The dialogue example was about work overload, right?
Yes. The boss gives one task too many, and that's it, the last straw. The person decides to quit.
It really signifies that breaking point. And it's different for everyone, isn't it?
Totally subjective. What's a minor annoyance for one person is the last straw for someone else, like the constantly barking dog example.
We've all been there. Okay, get to the point. Be direct. Skip the extra details.
Say what's important quickly and clearly. Like a boss in a meeting saying, okay, folks, let's get to the point. We're short on time.
Or telling a rambling friend, hey, sorry, I'm in a rush. Can you get to the point?
But the transcript rightly warned it can sound a bit abrupt, even rude sometimes.
Especially in formal situations, it suggested alternatives.
Yeah, like, could we summarize the main points? Or let's focus on the key issues. Much softer.
Good alternatives to have. The dialogue had Mark asking Jane to get to the point about project colors because of a deadline.
Shows its use when efficiency is key. Cut to the chase.
Right. Very useful, but handled with care. Lastly, for this set, catch up with.
Meaning to reconnect with someone after a while. Find out their news.
Doesn't have to be face-to-face, right? Phone calls, messages count too.
Absolutely. It's about bridging that communication gap. Like suggesting, let's grab coffee and catch up.
Or saying on the phone, we really need to catch up soon.
The dialogue had Jack and Rosa, who hadn't seen each other for ages, finally getting to catch up.
Talking jobs, family, friends, and then planning to catch up with Sarah later too.
Yeah, it reinforces how it's about maintaining those connections, staying in the loop with people's lives.
It's like the transcript said, you're literally catching up to where they are now in their life story.
Exactly. Closing that gap, getting back on the same page.
Okay, 2 sets down, 1 more to go. Ready for the final deep dive.
Bring it on. We have entire to insist, above all, to mess up, and it's not my cup of tea.
Starting with entire means whole, complete, full, all of something.
Right, no part left out. Spent the entire day cleaning, dawn till dusk.
Ate the entire cake, every single crumb.
The dialogue used it for a vacation. Spent the entire week exploring the city. Emphasized the fullness of the trip.
Visiting landmarks, trying food, day trips, covering the whole week.
Conveys that comprehensive experience. And the listener prompt was good, dreaming of an entire month off for travel.
Makes you think big. Okay, to insist, keep saying something, even with disagreement, because you think it's important.
Like a parent insisting on homework before video games.
Or someone insisting they come help you, even if you say it's okay.
Grammar reminder. Insist on something, or insist on doing something, or insist that someone does something.
Right. The dialogue had siblings, one insisting the other clean their room. Classic.
Huh, yeah. The discussion noted people insist because they believe it's important or just really want something, like insisting on being on time.
Or insisting on healthy food. It shows strong conviction.
And remember that grammar. Insist on punctuality. Insist that they eat vegetables.
Got it. Third one. Above all means most importantly more than anything else.
Highlights the top priority. Above all, be kind. Kindness is number one.
She loves many things, but above all, painting. Painting is her main passion.
The dialogue showed this well. Liking reading and cooking, but above all, I love painting. Or liking sports, but above all, playing soccer.
Ranks your preferences clearly.
Yeah, it adds that emphasis, like, holidays are great, but above all, going with friends is the best. Clarifies what truly matters most.
Makes sentences stronger. Okay, to mess up, make a mistake, do something badly.
Something goes wrong due to an error. Very common phrase. Examples were things like spilling coffee, forgetting a birthday.
Burning the pancakes, we've all been there.
Or bigger things. Messing up plans, relationships, schedules. A bad presentation, being late for an interview.
You can use it with or without an object, right? I messed up or I messed up the report.
Exactly. The dialogue had someone forgetting lunch, definitely a mess up.
No.
And the poor person spilling coffee on their laptop twice.
Ouch. Yeah, those are clear mess ups. The discussion mentioned trying to fix things after messing up.
And just trying to be careful. It's a really versatile way to talk about mistakes.
And our final phrase, the idiom, it's not my cup of tea.
Meaning you don't like it, it's not your kind of thing.
Example was loud concerts. Thanks, but it's not really my cup of tea. Polite refusal.
Yeah, or horror movies or certain sports. It's a gentle way to say no thanks or I don't enjoy that.
The dialogue has someone declining a rock concert invite. Rock music isn't really my cup of tea.
And suggesting a movie instead, preferring quieter music, shows that preference without being harsh.
It's much softer than just saying, I hate rock music.
Absolutely. That's its main function, politeness. It softens the rejection or dislike. Sounds nicer.
A very useful one for social situations.
Definitely good to have in your toolkit.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into these transcripts. We've covered a lot of ground, exploring some really practical vocabulary.
And hopefully shown how these words and phrases come alive in actual conversation, making English sound more natural.
Yeah, seeing them in context is key, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that shortcut to sounding more nuanced.
Absolutely. Understanding and using these can make a big difference.
So, a final thought for everyone listening. Think about the words and idioms we discussed today. Which ones jumped out at you?
Which ones feel like you could start using them right away in your own English conversations?
Maybe pick one or two that resonated and try them out, see how they feel. It's all about practice.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Deep Dive.